Creature match area, and they are ready. And we're going to watch game 3 between Herrera and Hall. Jund, Eldrazi taxes, let's do this thing.
And, you know, the black-white Eldrazi deck is a lot of small creatures and trying to cobble together some synergies between those creatures. Jund often very effective against these kind of decks because you just had discard and removal to break up things. And when it comes to their leftovers brawling against your Tarmogoyfs, you're going to get the better of that most of the time.
Your Tarmogoyf's generally bigger than what they're doing. So both these players are going to take a look at their 7 cards. Both 5-1 here. Pretty important round with regards to making day 2 of competition for Herrera and Hall. Looks like they are sort of good. Herrera's going to keep, Hall's going to take a mulligan here.
You know, Aether Vial, really potent for these kind of decks for a variety of reasons. But if there's any style of strategy that can really turn Aether Vial into a mulligan, it's Jund. You just pick apart everything, and then the Vial, it's really hard to leverage effectively.
Well, while Jared Hall does take a mulligan very quickly, I do want to talk about the newest member of the Creature Collection, Old Smell Snare, where it's available in playmat sleeves and player bundles today. Go.starcitygames.com/creature collection. It's a play on Smell Snare. Get it?
You said play on smell. It's a play on
Spell Snare.
Spell Snare.
Did I say Smell Snare?
Yes.
I blew it.
That snare spells and this snare's odors.
Thank you. Thank you.
StarCityGames.com.
Yeah. Clarification very important.
Yeah.
See if Jared has found a hand that he's happy with. Looks like he's doing a little scrying here. All right, card's going to go on top. Let's do it. All right, a swamp and a pass. No file to start things off here. Herrera will draw a card. Again, remember, Joe kept his 7, and Jared on 6.
Looks like Herrera's hand pretty land heavy.
Yeah, it does appear to be that way. Gonna play a Wooded Foothills, pass the turn back over to Jared. Fetid Heath. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Gonna make everything cost a little bit more as Herrera's gonna sacrifice a land here. See what land Joe wants to search up. Then we'll head to a second turn of the game. Thalia gonna try to disrupt a little bit and see if Jared Hall can find even more disruption in his deck, or maybe a card drawing engine like Dark Confidant to maybe undo this mulligan a little bit here. Blood Crypt, the land that Herrera's going to search up. Damnation the draw. Well, okay then.
Well, that is something to play towards with a land heavy hand. And with Terminate, he can kind of hang back, not really do very much. Terminate something large if it shows up. You know, something you can't really handle, or wait out with Damnation like Reality Smasher. Otherwise, let Damnation just clean this all up.
Basic Forest off the Verdant Catacombs. I think we'll see Dark Confidant here in just a moment. And that's exactly what we will see. And we're going to go over to Jared Hall. Reality Smasher the draw. Right on cue there, Mr. Sullivan. Looks like Seagate Wreckage is going to be the land here for Jared Hall. He'll start by attacking with Thalia first, though. That part's easy. Herrera's going to fall down to 16. You can see Jared Hall's hand a little bit disjointed here. He's got Reality Smasher and Thought Knot Seer he's a little bit away from. He's got Flicker Wisp that he can't. Actually, he can cast, though I'm not sure if he wants to, because that land in the middle is a Fetid Heath, which can provide double white. And then he's also got Path to Exile. He's going to go with Flicker Wisp. He's going to target his Thalia, which means it's going to leave the battlefield, enter the battlefield untapped, and we're going to go to Herrera. Herrera will draw a copy of Inquisition of Kozilek. He'll take 1 to do so. Now again, remember, Inquisition is going to cost 2 because of Thalia. And we'll see if Herrera actually wants to fire that off this turn or not.
Seems like you just want to, you know, keep the game relatively contained and then allow Damnation to take it over. Although I suppose the problem is that Herrera's not really in a position to block because Thalia has first strike and the Flickerwist has flying. And so you're going to 10 next turn and then 5 the following turn. Points on your Dark Confidant. Herrera might have to, begrudgingly use a Terminate on Flickerwisp here, just to make sure he has enough life to work with his Dark Confidant.
Yeah, I'm curious if he's supposed to use Flickerwisp on. I'm curious if he's supposed to use Terminate on Flickerwisp or Thalia.
Sure.
But I do think he has to play Terminate this turn now.
Yeah, using Terminate on Thalia both allows the Damnation to come on a turn earlier if he needs it to. Also means that the Dark Confidant can attack this turn. And he may be okay with trading off the Dark Confidant with the Flickerwisp at this point.
He's just going to pass that turn back. Another Thalia to draw. Yikes. The plan of killing Thalia might not be so good anymore. Oh, again, here's the easy part. Attack. It looks like Herrera's going to play Terminate. He's going to go after Thalia. Wants to be able to open up his mana a little bit. He's going to fall down to 11 from the Flickerwisp. Unfortunately for him, Jared Hall drew another Thalia. So he's going to play that and simply pass the turn back.
Not a huge fan there of using the Terminate inside of combat instead of your own turn against a deck with Flickerwisp.
Doesn't have flash.
I suppose maybe it's disruption again. Yeah, I guess it's about the same. There's just so many potential tricks that Hall can have. Flickerwisp isn't effective, but still. A lot of blinking effects in white, and if you're going to do it, just do it.
Yeah, you might as well just kill it.
It also cost him an attack because the Thalia was back on defense.
Well, you're going to see it in the main phase now. Here's a Swamp. Here comes Inquisition. Path to Exile is going to have to leave. Yeah, where'd Dark Confidant go? Yeah, what's going on?
There we go.
There we go. Now there's an attack for 2. So now we're going to go back to Hall. Looks like the game state is cleaned up a little bit here. Tide Hollow Scholar to the draw. Obviously, Jared wants to draw another land so he can play Thought Knot Seer. Tide Hollow Scholar is not a bad consolation prize, though. So there is the Scholar. Damnation and lands. Neat. Pretty easy choice. Stomping Ground, Bloodstained Mire, Overgrown Tomb, Wooded Foothills. Here comes Flickerwisp. Down to 8, maybe less now with Dark Confidant. Reveal. Let's make it 7. Blood Moon. Interesting.
Blood Moon's not a terrible draw.
No, I don't think it's bad.
I mean, it cuts off. It pretty effectively cuts off any of the Eldrazi showing up.
Yep.
Takes care of the white mana for the time being.
Yep. The bigger question here is how are we going to get that Dark Confidant off the board? Or the Flickerwisp, either one.
Well, he's got to just hang back. Most likely Hall's not attacking with the Tide Hollow Scholar, but he can't get rid of it.
And I think if you're Herrera, you got to play the Blood Moon now.
Well, he doesn't have anything else to play. He's got lands and an Inquisition he knows is dead.
Yeah.
He does have to do this because even if he finds an answer for the Flickerwisp, he still has to be able to keep his life total high enough that he can stop Reality Smasher from killing him at some point. And one way to mitigate that is just make sure the Reality Smasher can't be cast in the first place.
Yeah, so that's what Blood Moon's going to do a nice job of. Now, Lane and Arbiter can't cast that. And I think for Jared Hall, there's going to be a lot of cards that he can't cast. So for now, Herrera's going to fall down to 4. Now, he could die right now, depending on what Dark Confidant coughs up. But he's just got to get a little lucky. Terminate's a good draw.
That's a great draw.
Okay.
And now, Hall's kind of, he's made his deal with the devil at this point. He's just got to kind of hang back and hope that he either draws out or the Dark Confidant kills him. Not a whole lot else you can do.
Yep. So here's a Terminate on Tide Hollow Scholar. I'm a little surprised by that target.
Well, I think he wants to get the Confidant off the table, too. I don't know if he has double black with the Blood Moon in play.
Yeah, he only has 1 Swamp. So here's Inquisition. Take your Leonin Arbiter, sure. He's going to fall down to 1. So that means that he's got to reveal a land.
I
now.
like this line way less than just terminate your Flicker Wisp and hope.
Yeah, I would have preferred. Terminate your Flicker Wisp.
He had 4 instead of 1.
Yeah, I would have preferred terminate your Flicker Wisp. Because he's got, he's not going to top his deck. He's got to get so lucky now.
Now you have to kill 2 things. You have to kill your Dark Confidant and your Flicker
Well, he's
Wisp.
got the damnation to do that. He just needs to reveal a land. And he did. Okay.
But I guess the issue that I have here is I feel like you kind of do need to leverage your Dark Confidant a little bit. You know, you have nothing after this. I guess the hope is that Hall just can't play through Blood Moon and you eventually draw anything.
I'm not sure Hall can play through Blood Moon.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm just not sure he can play through Blood Moon. Yeah, drew a path. Can't play that. Pass.
Yeah, I guess he's on 2 planes in the deck.
Yeah, so now I think we're going to see a lot of draw go until Joe's able to find a Tarmogoyf. Yep. Temple doesn't matter. Can't play Thought Knot. Can't play Reality Smasher.
And there's no waste in the deck.
Well, he just drew. Yep, he just drew Hazoret.
All right, well, very nicely done.
Yeah. So here's 4 mana. And he doesn't really have to worry about anything. So there's Hazoret. He can get his hand empty real easy. Saying, Inquisition you. Okay, take your path. Couldn't cast it anyway. Throw a card at you. Turn on Hazoret.
Yeah, and Hall's not even drawing to the planes at this point because he has no white cards to cast.
Yeah. And Hazoret's going to close this game out real quick. Yep, there's a Concealed Courtyard. That doesn't do anything. Yeah, Hazoret closes the game out right now. Draw a card. Throw a land at you. Throw anything at you. And that is going to do it. So Joseph Herrera with some weird Dark Confidant triggers. Sometimes needed a spell, sometimes needed a land. It all broke his way. Beats Jared Hall 2-1 as Jund barely hangs on over white-black Eldrazi Taxes.
Very, very nicely done. That line there when he was getting his shop